Alright, so I'm about to show you why I'm a firm believer that lithium batteries, no matter how good the quality is a bad option for anything Harley Davidson related. Reason being is a lithium battery can send 800 cranking amps in a split second to the starter, but the problem is it can only do it for about a minute, maybe a little more. However, Harley has high compression, and you just need the grinding power of an AGM battery. So just to prove I have nothing to hide here, this battery has been on a battery tender. As you can see, it's going to be upside down, but it does say that is for a lithium battery, lead acid or lithium, and it's green. So this battery should be fully charged, and I'm going to fire it up so you can see on my power vision what that thing will do and how this battery will leave you stranded. Now, as you can see, that battery's been fully charged. It is within range to start. It shows low already. So again, I think lithium batteries are a bad option. I'm gonna hit the starter. You're gonna see what's gonna happen and how this thing goes down, how quickly it discharges, and how it locks up and goes into safety mode. All right, here we go. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was the one time out of 10 this bike started on its own. And of course it would when I'm trying to make a video of it. What would normally happen is it hits that compression stroke and you saw that battery start to go red almost instantly. And when that happens, the battery senses too much of a load on the current draw and goes into a safety shutdown. And unfortunately, this safety shutdown on this battery is about 15-20 minutes before it will come back on. At that point, your buddies are already down the road, they're having a good time, or you have to jump start this bike. That battery has left me stranded more times than what it's worth. Now, the company that I bought the battery from actually wants to buy it back. They're willing to, because it's a 10-year battery that can be rebuilt. But to be quite honest, when I pull this out of here, and you'll see what model it is, I fully plan to blow this son of a bitch up as high as I can in the sky, because I've been out to 2 charity events and watched my bike sitting out on the street waiting to be started or jump started because everybody else is leaving. So that is what happens to a battery. We'll do it again here and show you. Again, it's a good representation of just what the battery will do and how quickly it will dissipate. And unfortunately, those lithium cells just can't handle a long period of time with that much power being drawn from them. So we're at 12.45. And as you can see how quickly that went down, jumped down and dropped to 9 volts. Now, if it was colder out, it's about 60-something degrees here, almost 70. If this bike was trying to start around a 50 below, I guarantee I could have got this battery to go into thermal protection mode. I'm going to go ahead and swap it out with a new Wicked Start that I have, an AGM battery, and replace it with that, and I'll give you an example how that one works and what it does so you can see on a live meter. In the case of me buying this Wicked Start from the same company that I bought this lithium battery from, they even said that many people are going back to a traditional AGM battery because they're in the same boat, getting left stranded with their bike going into thermal protection mode because the battery dissipates too quickly, and then they're not able to get where they want to go. Now, lithium all day long on a small enduro bike, a 250 trail bike, where weight means everything, but not on an engine like this. And the only thing that's been changed in this engine, it is cammed out. It does have new lifters and rockers on it, but that's causing a lot more compression compared to what a traditional Harley would be. But hopefully, guys, I'll put this new battery in, show you the difference, and I will be done with a lithium battery for the rest of my life. I'll never put it in anything I ever own other than a rechargeable RC car, flashlight, something to that regard, but not a machine that requires to be started. So really think about that. If you had a lithium battery in here and it's affected by cold pretty badly, you got to wake it up. If you were out on, say, a quad runner or a dirt bike, you're in the desert, you're out fishing alone, you're ice fishing, for example, and that thing goes into thermal protection mode, that battery could mean the difference of life and death of you getting home that night. So we'll put the AGM battery in, we'll show you the difference. Just to show you that my power vision is accurate, before I remove this battery, you can see it's got 12.7 volts, a little hard with the glare, but you can see that battery is matching what my power vision is saying by 0.1. Now it'll fluctuate a little bit as the bike comes alive, but at least you can see that they are accurate and true with my readings. Alright, don't comment on my messy workbench here. Got a lot going on coming out of the summer, or the fall. On the left is the new Wicked Start. This is about 600 cold cranking amps. It has stainless steel connectors on it. They are top bottom. They're threaded, so you don't have a stupid pain in the ass nut that goes in there that constantly falls down the bike, can't get it to work. This one right now is what the battery company that sold me the lead, if I'm saying that correctly, battery. Now this thing's a beast. It's heavy. It is big. The batteries are about the same height, but when you start getting into side-by-side comparison, don't minus these. These are just the little protector foams to take up the space. That AGM battery is a monster. It is probably 20 times heavier than this lead, because I could throw that like a softball and catch it if I wanted to. I had really high hopes with this battery. It was not the cheapest on the market by far. Could have went a lot cheaper route. Had to send it back because this used to say percentages. Now they do the voltage. You can see it's 13.3 volts when it's not in the bike, not waking anything up. It's got terminals on all four corners. These come off and you got more terminals there. So a lot of flexibility with this battery. And again, I had high hopes for it. It is rebuildable. It probably has the 16850, I think, is the little cylinder batteries in there. But this is a smart battery. You get a lithium battery that is not smart and it doesn't shut down for thermal protection, you're going to catch your battery on fire. There are some out there, there's cheap knockoffs out there that don't have circuitry in this like this battery does. They can do a lot of diagnostics from this front panel. So again, it was not the cheapest battery option out there at all. You can throw this thing underwater and it will still start a car because it doesn't short out. It's got that protection in it. But you can see these terminals are all beat up to hell and back. Because, I mean, I've just had to jump start this thing for the last 3 years, and I can't wait to blow this son of a bitch up because I hate it that bad. I won't even sell it. I won't even give it to somebody that needs a battery. It's going to go sky high in a couple of different pieces, and I hope it's a good show. So we're going to get moving, putting this Wicked Start back in there. Again, standard AGM battery. There's a model number if anybody needs to know. It is a top-rated battery. A lot of people said they even have the Screaming Eagles. They have the S&S engines, and they've had good luck with these things just cranking and starting these bikes. So we'll get it put in. So before we drop this battery in, I want to give a quick demonstration. Duct tape. Yeah, people say, man, you're screwing up your battery. It used to be a beautiful battery, had a nice little sticker on it, and put duct tape on it. Why did I do that? I put a nice handle on this battery because when you put these things down into the slots that these manufacturers give you, they're at the tolerance of what your valve clearance is, and trying to get these sons of bitches back out, you can't do it. So take you a nice zip tie. Notice how I put mine here so it won't go back and forth on me. I taped it up around the edges so it doesn't slide off on vibration. But I can go ahead and put that battery and slide it in there full control without pinching my fingers. And the best is when I go to pull this battery back out, I can just grab it by this homemade handle and pull that battery back out when I need to do it. So that's what that is there for. I just wanted to give that quick tip before we drop it into the bike. All right, so there's the new AGM battery in. You can see my pull handle, center it up because you have two tabs in the back. It'll go in the center of that. I need to pull that battery out of there. It's going to make all the world of difference. Even putting the battery in there, this is tight. because this is an ultra limited and it has a ton of cables for speakers and sound and intercom and all that stuff. So it's tight down there. But that allows you to put that battery in there without causing any damage to your electrical system. So let's go ahead and turn the bike on. See what the Dynajet's going to read for us. And then we will do a crank test. You'll see what the difference is. Again, I'm not saying this is going to be better, with some tools down here, better than the Lithium as far as cranking, but I believe it's going to give me the ability to grind on this bike where I didn't have that before. So let's see what happens. You be the judge of that. My honest opinion, I think it started a hell of a lot better because it didn't go and then stop when it hit the compression stroke like the Lithium does. The AGM just has power to carry it all the way through. I think it's the difference between a Lithium battery has a lot of horsepower, it doesn't have the torque it needs. Whereas this battery may not have all the horsepower, but it definitely has the torque it needs to carry it through. Because I've seen this voltage right here drop down into the 6.9 range on that Lithium, and then it does lock up and go into safety mode. So we'll try it again just so you see the difference. So that's my opinion on a Lithium battery. I know a lot of guys are pro Lithium. Do what you want to do. I'm only here to give you information to help you make a solid purchase that you feel comfortable with and that you agree with and that you know what you're getting into. So don't complain the bike's dirty. Hasn't been given its maiden wash yet. Has been out on the road a couple times. But that is the difference between a Lithium battery, a very high-end Lithium battery, and an AGM classic battery. Again, that wasn't the cheapest option out there. But if you go through A and Z battery or AZ battery, A to Z battery, something like that, they'll send it out to you $149 shipped. That's cheaper than I found a lot of them out on Dennis Kirk, JP Cycles, that only had the 400 cold cranking amps. It did not have the 600 plus that this battery says it has. So there you go. Any questions, feel free to leave them. Any comments, want to call me names, I don't care. Do what you want to do. But that is the difference between a Lithium battery and an AGM battery.